Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Last Lap. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down some news that came out this week, and we're going to also be giving our preview and predictions for this weekend at Las Vegas. It'll be another triple header for all three series, so make sure you guys stay tuned. But before we hop into it, just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button and that like button. It goes a long way and helps the channel grow. And you can also check us out on Instagram at The Last Lap News. We try to post some content throughout the week over there in between our YouTube videos over here on YouTube. But without further ado, always have to introduce my friend and co-host Matthew on the show, joining me from the Liberty University. So how you doing this week as we go into the round of 12 for the Cup Series?
Well, this second round's gonna be real nerve-wracking for me. I mean, I feel like Las Vegas is gonna be the most important race of the playoffs because no one wants to go into Talladega in the Roval, thinking, you gotta have a good run. And most of the time in Talladega, you're gonna get wrecked. And the Charlotte Roval, we've seen a lot of crazy things happen there over the couple times we've been there. So it's gonna be an interesting second round. I feel like some people who have predicted to move on from this round might get eliminated, especially if it was from Talladega. So we'll see how this round goes and see if we keep our predictions right.
Yeah, so far each of us only have one thing wrong in our bracket so far, so hopefully we can keep that up through this round. But like you said, this is probably the most unpredictable round because we have Talladega and the Roval back to back after Las Vegas, so definitely will be an interesting round for sure. But before we hop into all of that, we have some news to talk over with you guys, and the first two pieces of news are a little bit small, but it's still worth bringing up. So the Xfinity series announced a new logo, and it's going to actually be purple, and that's what the playoff banners will be for the cars next year. This year they're obviously red. Next year is going to be a purple theme, so that's definitely interesting. It's kind of, I don't know, it's different, so I'm not really complaining about it, just something new to spice things up. So there was that, and then NASCAR, or Ford, actually released a new truck for next year, and all three manufacturers, Ford, Chevy, and Toyota, will have a new truck for next year, but apparently they could use the trucks from this year as well next year, so they could use the new body or they could use the old one. Just depends on the team's funding and all of that kind of stuff. So I'll throw a picture of the Ford truck on the screen, and it looks really good. The video that they released was actually Haley Deegan driving it around a short track, and it looked pretty good. So I'm definitely excited to see what the other two trucks look like. But that's the first two pieces of news, and then the final piece of news for you guys is regarding practice and qualifying. So Bob Pockris, who works for Fox on Twitter, he released a possible leak of what that might look like next season. He said that it will be about a 20 to 30 minute session of practice, and then qualifying would be immediately after that. And the only downside to that is that there would be no major adjustments underneath the car. So I believe that means they could do like wedge and track bar and stuff, but they can't do anything under the race car. So that's a little bit unfortunate, and possibly what NASCAR is going for here would probably be to do practice and qualifying in the same day, but even possibly the race in the same day as well. So you might have practice and qualifying Sunday morning, early Sunday afternoon, and then the race a little bit after that. So I'm glad we have practice and qualifying back, but this isn't necessarily what we wanted. I would say give them an hour, like just an hour, and then allow them to make some adjustments. Apparently why NASCAR isn't allowing them to make major adjustments is because they would have to go through tech again, and it takes a lot of time for them to go through tech and all of that. So, I mean, I guess I kind of understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, we gotta give these drivers a chance to make some big adjustments on these next-gen race cars. It's the first time we're seeing them on track, the first time they're going to be at the track with these race cars. So I think NASCAR should at least give them an hour and allow them to have some time in between to make some changes before going back through tech, before qualifying, or something like that. Because obviously 20 to 30 minutes, that's okay, but that's not a lot of time to even get on the track and figure out what your car is doing. So it's just a rumor that hasn't been confirmed yet. So hopefully NASCAR can listen to some of the drivers and the teams, some of the media, and hopefully make some changes before that's actually official for next season. So that's all the news I have. And Matthew, go ahead and give me your opinion on these pieces of news.
So the Xfinity Series logo for next year looks pretty good. I know some paint schemes will fit well with the purple playoff banners. Some paint schemes will not. So it's a great change, and can't wait to see what it looks like next year on the cars, especially when it's playoff time. As for the Truck Series news with the new front noses and the hood and the new rear bumpers for Ford, Chevy, and Toyota, I like it. I heard the front bumper, the hood, and also the rear bumper is composite, like the Xfinity Series composite bodies or the Cup Series for next year. But it's not going to be all composite body. Most of it will still be sheet metal, but it's just those components that are going to be composite body material. So it'll be interesting to see what Toyota and Chevy comes up with their designs. And I did not know some teams can run wherever they want. I actually didn't know that, to be honest. I thought they have to. Just like, next year, all the cars are going to have the next gen car. I guess it works different for lower series. But, alright. Now, alright. We got to get to this piece of news, the whole practice thing. Yes, I'm glad practice and qualifying are back. Of course, I'm a Kyle Busch fan. He's all about the practice and qualifying from what he's been talking about the past couple of years that we don't have it. But this isn't practice. This is basically a warm-up session here. Like, you're just warming it up, making sure your engine doesn't blow up, or something doesn't catch on fire in the first few laps, or something, transmission breaks or something first couple laps, like we've seen in a couple of these races this year and last year. But I don't like it. I mean, it's a brand new car. No one really has a lot of information about it. Like, most of the drivers haven't run the next gen car with testing or anything. Only on that iRacing thing during earlier this year with the iRacing Pro Invitational. So, I mean, you gotta let them adjust the car. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. And 25 to 30 minutes is nothing, man. That's barely any time. So, they need. I know this is only proposed, but they need to really think about this over and realize what they're doing is stupid. Because it's not a practice session as a warm-up session. It's practice when you're getting to adjust your car, making sure nothing is wrong with the car, nothing's blowing it up or. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't want to hear, oh, they're just saving money for the team. I've heard that way too many times already. I mean, we've heard it so many times with them this year, especially when Formula One can have like 3 different practice sessions, and then like all this qualifying sessions that they have. Any car can do the same thing, and heck, even the ARCA series can have practice and qualifying. I mean, it is stupid that NASCAR is acting like they're like they have no money compared to like Formula One or IndyCar or ARCA, especially. They can do it. I know they can do it. So they need to stop with the whole cost-saving money excuse and realize, hey, it's a brand new car. We need to let these teams adjust the car to figure how everything works on this new car. So I know it's only proposed, it's not confirmed, of course. But I really hope they're really thinking this through, because the proposed thing that proposed practice and qualifying is absolutely stupid. I mean, I'm only counting it as just qualifying at this point. Practice, they call it quote unquote, is basically a warm up session for that, with barely any time and you can't adjust it. So It's stupid, and I hope NASCAR figures this thing out, because if they really do that, I'm not really gonna be happy about with them.
So really quick, what would the ideal, like, what do you think would be the ideal amount of like, what do you think the practice and qualifying procedure should be like? Because I like having practice and qualifying on the same day, but I just think practice needs to be a little bit longer, and there should be a gap in between practice and qualifying so they can make those adjustments. But you tell me, what do you think is like the proper amount of practice time, and should it be on the same day as qualifying? Like, tell me really quick what your thoughts are about what it should be.
Well, practice and qualifying on the same day, absolutely not. Qualifying race day on the same day, I'm totally fine with, because it works fine with me. But practice needs to be another day. No, you can't fit all three things in one day. That's just impossible, and a little bit too much. I mean, they only really need one practice session. Okay, if you want to stay your little cost saving measures thing, like you've been talking about so many times this year, you only have one practice session, an hour at least. There, that's perfect. That's perfect amount of time for everyone to get on the track, get like 10, 20 laps in, and depending on how big the track is, and then come back in, make your adjustments if you don't like the car. If you're happy with the car, then you can just sit it out. That's totally fine. It should be up to the team's decisions to say, hey, we don't want to practice because we're only going to do one lap of practice and just close it up so we can don't risk damaging the car. That should be up to the team's choice, instead of NASCAR trying to be like, oh, we're just trying to save costs on the price. Oh my, I'm like, it just makes. I mean, it's got to be the team's decision to say, hey, we're going to do one lap of practice and just put it in the garage for the rest of the time so we can not risk damaging the car. That should be up to the team's decision. They're the ones that bring the car out. They're the ones spending the money to. So, if they want to take it, if these lower teams want to run more laps, they're only risking themselves damaging the car. So, that should be on them, not NASCAR forcing everybody to not adjust their cars or practice. So, okay, I got a little bit off topic there, but only one practice a session, an hour. That's fine. Let them adjust the cars. This is a brand new car. Every team has got to figure how this car works with certain setups, certain adjustments, certain they gotta let them do that. I mean, especially when it's a brand new car that not a lot of drivers have really driven yet for real. Not on iRacing for real. So yeah, that's my proposal. They need to do only one. They only need one practice session, an hour practice session, and then let them adjust the car so they can figure everything out, and then just have qualifying like normal. So that's my proposed schedule.
Yeah, hopefully NASCAR talks with the teams about it and gets some of their input if they haven't already.
Didn't.
It'll be
they
interesting
only talk to like the budget teams about it. They're like, hey, we don't want to spend that much money. But
it'll be interesting to see if there's some. I know a few NASCAR drivers have already made their displeasure known via social media and stuff. So hopefully NASCAR can take that into account. But now it's time for our picks. So each series is going into a fresh round of the playoffs. The Xfinity series is beginning their playoff run, and then the Truck and the Cup series are heading into their second round. So first of all, we got our Truck and Xfinity picks for Las Vegas, and Matthew, you have the floor for those.
So I'm doing Truck and Xfinity first again.
Yep.
All right. So Truck series, of course, I'm going John Hunter Nemechek, because he's always a threat every race this year. I mean, he didn't have a good run at Gateway, but ever since then, he's finished second at Darlington, second at Bristol, with almost winning at Bristol. So, I gotta give it to John Nemechek. And I mean, of course, there's always Sheldon Creed, but yeah, I cannot pick John Hunter. I mean, I can't leave John Hunter Nemechek to the Eagles. So I'm picking him. As for Xfinity, I'm going with let's see. I'm gonna go with Austin Cindric because I feel like last weekend. I mean, they've been a little bit of a slump. They really rebounded last weekend, in my opinion, and I think they're gonna start off this playoff strong here. So I got Austin Cindric.
All right. So for me, for the Truck Series, I'm gonna go with your other pick there. I'm gonna go with Sheldon Creed. I feel like him and John Hunter are the two favorites every single week now. Granted, Chandler Smith kind of stole one last week at Bristol, but I still think Sheldon Creed and John Hunter Nemechek are the two favorites every week in the Truck Series. Xfinity is where it gets a little bit tougher though, because you picked Austin Cindric and he's good, but I also feel like drivers like AJ Allmendinger, Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson. You could throw Daniel Hemrick in there, even though he hasn't won.
Ty Gibbs.
He's ran up there. Ty Gibbs, you could throw him in there too. So there's 6 to 8 solid picks for the Xfinity series. So I'm gonna go. Man, I don't know who to go with. I think I'm gonna go. Ooh. I'll pick Noah Gragson just because he's been on a roll recently and he's ran well the past 3 races. I know Bristol he had an issue, but he was up there most of the race. So I'm gonna go with Noah Gragson for my Xfinity pick, and then also hopping into the Cup Series for my picks on Sunday. So for my main pick, I have to go Kyle Larson. He won there in the spring, so I have to go with him as my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to go with Kyle Busch. He has also been good on these 1.5-mile tracks this year. I looked at the schedule, and it's been like the last 1.5-mile they ran was Atlanta, I believe.
Yeah, he should have won that one, but we all know what happened there. Same thing that happened at Bristol with 2 teammates.
That was months ago. So they went to a bunch of road courses and short track super speedways, everything in between.
That's totally
now
fine.
And then, but yeah, Kyle Busch, he's gonna be my second pick, and then for my third pick, I think I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin because he has ran well so far in these playoffs. Granted, it was all 750 horsepower tracks, but still, I feel like Denny Hamlin is slowly starting to put some stuff together, so I'm gonna put him as my third pick. So go ahead and let me know your 3 picks for Sunday.
First pick is going to be Warren Truex Jr. because he's also been really good at Las Vegas the past couple years. He won there in 2017 and he won here in the playoffs in 2019. So I got Warren Truex Jr. My second pick is going to be... Fine. It'll be Chase Elliott. It's my second pick. I know he has a 1 there, but there's been a couple times the past couple of years he's looked really strong, but he had bad luck. So I got him as my second pick. My third pick is going to be... I'm going to go with Joey Logano because, to be honest, I feel like Joey Logano... I mean, I know Ryan Blaney has 3 wins, but I feel like Joey Logano's been a little bit more consistent in Penske in terms of being up there, top 5s, top 10s. So I got Joey Logano as my third pick.
All right, yeah, I was thinking about Chase, but at the same time, I was thinking Denny's been on a hot streak lately. So yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. We'll have to see who shows up this week, and it's gonna be kicking off the playoffs, or at least a new round for each series. So definitely a long road ahead for this round, because once we get through this week, the next 2 weeks are going to be unpredictable. It's going to be nuts. But do you have any closing thoughts before we wrap this episode up?
Yeah, why is Riley Herbst in the playoffs in the Xfinity Series?
It's because Michael Annette's injured.
I mean, look, man. I don't know why Riley Herbst is even in the playoffs. He wasn't even close to getting the playoffs. All it took was an injury from Michael Annette to even made it possible for him to make it in the playoffs. So, I got a little problem with him being in the playoffs, but it's whatever. He'll probably get swept in the first round. He'll get swept in the first round. Just like always.
Just take Riley Herbst out and just put Josh Berry in for the heck of it. Josh Berry can make it further than Riley Herbst, even
Heck, Mike DiBenedetto would do way much better in that car than Riley Herbst.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's actually his hometown track this weekend. Apparently, his family owns a chain. It's called Terribles. What a coincidence! I think pretty accurate. I think it's pretty accurate, knowing how he always is with these top rides.
Yeah, but that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of news for you guys this week. Let us know what you think of all this news. Yeah, long road ahead for the playoffs. Our review video will probably be out on. It will probably come out Tuesday because the Cup race ends late Sunday night, and we're probably not going to want to record Sunday night. So expect our review and recap video to come out probably Tuesday next week. But until then, we'll see you guys in our next video.